Joe, that's really your genre, isn't it? A little hit slam and AC/DC. The Philly Boys kind of music. Yeah, I'm from California. You know, it's a softer beach tone where I'm from. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Captain Culpepper here with Master Chief Mace. Welcome back to Open Line. We've still got Captain Michael's in the room with us, along with Dr. Pete and John from the Kentucky American Legion. Now, Pete, you mentioned Girls and Boys State while you were talking a minute ago, and I wasn't ready to stop talking about American Legion, but let's jump back to talking a little bit about Boys and Girls State, if you don't mind.
Well, last year we had a lot of support, obviously from yourself, and DOD was a big supporter, and we also had the teachers and the students' parents. We had about 10 students with their chaperones come last year to Boys State. We had a Stevie Ray who donated roughly $20,000 to make this program start.
And this didn't come from not a penny of government money and not a penny out
Nope.
of the students' pockets to do this.
No, it was a family trust, and the American Legion Post 42, and I think some others donated for the tuition, which is $200. On the website, it's kyboystate.org, and it's a great place to say, what is the program, why is it important, who's eligible, and how to apply. And there's, by the way, 49 of these programs, and so we're not exclusive. We don't pretend to be the only one, but we're pretty good.
Well, you're the only one who reached down here to Guantanamo Bay, the kind of an isolated community of Americans who have no state to rely on. You're the only ones who reached down here and grabbed our folks and said, "Hey, you can come participate in this."
It was all the childhood trauma when I was in Heidelberg, Germany, and we just didn't know about these things. And you got to, it's not just about government and leadership. It's say your child wants to be an officer or in the military, and you have to ask, that's congressionally mandated on the ROTC applications and the academy graduation. So imagine if you're applying to the academy and you're 5 points behind everybody else who were in the States or actively doing things in the States, you're 5 steps behind.
Mm-hmm.
We had a kid recently, smart kid, had great GPA and all that. I selected him. We went through a process, and we put the stamp of approval. He got Boys Nation. The mom finally called me 3 months later and said, "Well, I get it now. He's a Boys Nation. He's a 1%er. He's actually a .01%er." And so when the academies call, I go, "Well, I'm sorry. We'll have to dilute. We have to make it a little more elite. He's a .1%er, Colonel." And they automatically take them. It's almost guaranteed. So the point being is they get to meet the president, Boys Nation. They get to have the resume.
Mm-hmm.
They get to build things, and they network. They meet a lot of people. And in this situation, there's a lot of great Americans here on the base, but it doesn't hurt to meet other people across the nation. And that's the benefit of the program. Even if you had to pay for it, $200 to get rid of your kid for a week, that's a great deal. That's a great deal. Any grandparent would pay for that. I mean, no.
And that's that's all great stuff, of course. It probably is the real benefit. It's not what I want to say.
I was just joking about the parent thing.
No, I know you were. I'm not trying to discount anything you just said. Obviously, those are great things, and for folks who are aspiring, for example, to get into the academy, it's hugely important. But I think not to forget the fundamental part of it, right? The essence of a good citizen is a good voter, an educated, smart voter, and understanding government is a key part of that. And this is a great opportunity for young men and women to do that.
Some of the moms will argue that the best accomplishment is that kids learn how to do laundry. I've had mothers send me cards with Red Lobster. "Doc Pete, thank you. My child knows how to clean their room and do laundry." Now, I'm not here to argue if that's important, okay? But we make the kids responsible. But one of the things is friendships, and I'm not going to call too many people out like Ryan and his mother Susan, and great people, and he learned not to put his hands in the pockets, especially around the president, and valuable things. But we had other kids that, and this is a little more personal, and they told the story at Kentucky dinner. They would not have gotten up in front of a group of people before going to this program. Now they're actually taking leadership roles. They communicate very directly, and their journey is different. So at the end of the day, you're going to meet people. You're going to learn different skill sets. You're going to learn a lot of valuable life lessons, and you're going to meet kids. Our governor last year was from West Africa. Mother was killed in a civil war, came over here, worked 18, 20 hours a day at Boys State, became the governor, met the president, And unfortunately, in Kentucky, Center College is the best college, and he didn't take that full ride. He took full ride to the second good college, which was Transy University. And I will openly degrade that school because I went to Center, and that's
Pull no
a better
punches.
school. Okay, so, but I mean, it's a coin toss between, do I take a $350,000 full ride or a $260,000? Because that's the difference. The Center's a much better school. So anyways. But that's an example. So.
Well, and I think, well, you just said it too, but the other story Stevie Ray was telling was just the hours you guys are pushing everybody through. So, all the things you just said and the hard work in general, boy, what an opportunity for young men and women to really get an opportunity to get outside of their bubble and see how it is in the real world to work hard and to learn something of great value. So, thanks to you guys and to all your bubbas from both American Legion and Boys Girls State in Kentucky who aren't here to hear my thanks.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Before we